I've had this I've had this Quran ready to read in Tagalog for years and years and years. Haven't gotten to it. Haven't gotten to it. But now I must get to it because I don't get to choose the literature that a language has. So, for example, I was looking for there's bien provecho in Spanish. So I was looking for bien provecho, and I translated bien provecho into Italian, and then and so Google Translator said that it was Corsican. So I asked Google Translator, excuse me, I asked her to sound out bien provecho in Corsican, and it said I don't have that voice yet. Okay, so not every language is going to be able to be voiced. And so that means that you're going to have to know someone who speaks the language, or you're going to have to immerse yourself. Like you're going to have to go to Corsica. That's what that means. You can only watch so many movies if there's a lot of movies in Corsican if you want to learn Corsican. Now, granted, Corsican is like French and it's like Italian, so you can watch French and Italian content and get there. But so if all the Corsicans have is just the Bible and the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita, then that's their literature. So it doesn't matter what my beliefs are. I've got to read the literature that's there. So if it's the Satanic Bible, and that's the only literature that's in, let's say, any language. I don't want to prejudice a language, but let's say that's the only piece of literature in that language. Then, whether I believe in Satan or not, that's what the literature is, and that's what I have got to read. So, the Quran is part of Tagalog literature. So, we're paging through, and that shows you who's it by. Here's the chapters that we're going to go to. And Sutra is Sutra in Arabic and in Quran. Now remember, if you are a Muslim, you've got to go to Mecca at least one time in your life. And also, you have to be able to read the Quran, generally in Arabic. So how they're going to make that transition, I don't know, but that's somebody is making it. Okay, so a, ang, ka, sa, sai, yang. Ang, Islam, sa, Filipinas. So from without translating it, and I can, and let me hit this, boom. And this is why I'm doing it this way. Now see, I have it's not detecting language for me. Because and that's and what you're saying to yourself is well, what's going on here? And here's the thing. This is why and let's take it out of Latin, but it said Historia, and let's put it into something that's going to be very similar in sound to this language, which is going to be Portuguese. Not Spanish, by the way, Portuguese. And it's the same as in Latin. See, Historia. And it's going to be the exact same thing in Spanish. So, ang, mag, sa, ing, ang, Islam, sa, Filipinas. So the history of Islam in the Filipinas. So, okay, you got a new word there. See how that worked? Okay. Paga un salita. Now, salita I know the word, but I can't remember it, so we'll just look it up real quick. Ah, that's right. That's right. See, now I'm gonna blue it out. Blue it out. Cause now paga ang salita. And salita is palabra. Mote. Word. Okay. Sa aleng ni Allah. Ang paabing a ha bageng ang paing ka ma a walan. La wa ha I in sa hala. Ang tag pag to kuyad. Ang tagpa tang ki ang lahat eng mag ni la lang. Ang I a ki paan ing paala ing ma pasa kay Profeta Muhammad ang sakir ing kayang ing laghit na Prophet Nawa. Okay, now I'm gonna have to read this slow. The only thing that I know that's on that page is Prophet Muhammad, Salita, which is word, and I encountered that word before, Allah, and what's that other word that I definitely know? Maybe Lahat. Okay, so I'm going to come here and you translate it into a language. See, now what you're going to say is, why don't I translate it into English? No, translate it into a language that has a similar sound, that has a similar history, where the two people made contact early as possible. So the Portuguese were the first to make contact with the Philippines, and they did it before the Spanish, and they did it like 500 years before English speakers and before Dutch speakers. So that tells you that the two languages are going to be related. So now, I don't have any reference in this language because I don't regularly read the Quran in any language, even though I do own a Quran, but I haven't taken the time to read it. That, I think I have a Quran in Persian maybe. And so I haven't taken the time to learn Persian. I haven't taken time to read the Quran. And so that's my defect. And I well knew that this was a major part of Tagalog literature, of Philippine literature, and I just plain and simply ignored it. Okay. Grave error on my part. Let's see what it says in Portuguese. Okay. Now, so Prefecto en nome de Allah, o más compasionante y la más misericordia, gloria a Allah, a sustenedor y sustenedor de todos los criaturas, que a paz y as beneficiones están con o profeta Muhammad. Oh, and then see, now watch. See that? Sag ka na ka gira de todos os profetas ou profetas que seja. See, now that sag ka, that's not translated. That's not translated. That's why when you look at this stuff and you think that it's going to be simple, you can get somebody on YouTube and they're going to tell you, oh, I'm going to tell you how to speak Tagalog in 30 minutes. How do you get past that year when I can't even get past page 8? And I have experience with this language. Now I got to find out exactly what ang sag ka is. Now, how long do you think that that's going to take? Now, what you'd say, well, I can just look it up in the dictionary and that's not going to take me very long. No, some words, it can take years. It could take years. I might not be able to find that word, but I got to try. And so this is as far as I can read, and I got 979 more pages to go.